Speaker, my question, why does this government place cabinet secrecy ahead of the national interest in health? Why does it place the political security of Liberal politicians ahead of the security of Canada's blood supply?
Americans are waking up to a new reality.
When I wake up in the morning, I start worrying about bills that need to be paid.
I start worrying about how I'm going to, provide for my family.
News coverage. Guys, thank you so much for coming on my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, hey. You guys know what we do here. This channel is about being nosy. This channel is about being Maria, the nosy old Hispanic neighbors that are always looking out the window. It's our turn to look at the other side of the field, you know what I'm saying? Because we want to know what's going on. We're the one who's being affected by this every day, you know what I'm saying? So we're doing what other people's not doing because we really care about our community, about our kids' future, and about today's society. Because, guys, there's a lot of people sleeping outside right now. So we're going to talk about today how families are dealing with inflation. What is the average monthly expenses now? Because, everything went up so high. Let's look at the, monthly average expenses. And what is causing inflation? Like, why is everything so expensive? Like, now, even if you go to the store, a pack of eggs is like $10. You know what I'm saying? So we want to know what's going on because everything that used to cost $1 is nearly like $4 or $5. And by the time you leave the supermarket, you barely have anything in your fridge. So let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what's going on. So guys, for the guys, you're Joselitos, you know what I'm saying? And the girls, Marias. We about to be in this channel, drinking some cafe, looking at the blinds, and investigating. We're going to investigate what's affecting our communities and what went down in history and what can we do today to make society a better place. So guys, let's go. So how are families dealing with inflation right now? So guys, a lot of people are cutting back on food. A lot of people are just eating one meal. A lot of people are working 2 or 3 jobs. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people sleeping in their car, outside on the ground, on the bridges. People are having to downgrade. Apparently, almost each and every apartment complex, rent went up a few $100s all over the nations. So people having to live with each other. Also, people having to get roommates and share their space and their private, sanctuary with a stranger. So this is what people are doing to deal with inflation. A lot of people are cutting back, can't even go out to eat no more, and even ramen noodles. It used to be $1 a pack. Now it's like nearly almost $3-4 in most places. So guys, I'm just talking about my state. I'm in the land of supposedly a little bit of the free of the states. So that's where I'm at. So yeah. So that's how people dealing with inflation. Let's move on, guys.
8.6% since this time last year. And today, gas hit a new high, $5 a gallon on average nationally. And new data shows inflation is the worst it's been since 1981, up 8.6% since this time last year. That translates to families paying an extra $460 a month for everyday items. For so many Americans, that's money they simply do not have. So tonight, we follow 3 families as they're forced to change their lifestyles to get by.
What's your day look like?
Across the country, Americans are waking up to a new reality.
When I wake up in the morning, I start worrying about bills that need to be paid.
I start worrying about how I'm going to, provide for my family.
I worry more about what my kids are feeling more than anything.
In the town of Lumberton in southeast Texas,
be with everyone in the country that is in need.
Rising prices have forced Bridget and Johnny Lovell to drastically change their way of life.
As a mom, I feel stressed about everything.
They've had to cut back on the activities they enroll their 3 kids in.
We find more activities to do that are cheaper, free.
And they've stopped eating out.
The other day, my kids were talking about how they miss eating Pizza Hut because that was, for us, it's a luxury item. Good job.
Instead, Bridget keeps to a tight grocery budget.
If I start to see my budget going over, then I go back through my list and say, what do I absolutely have to have this week? They don't get their frozen waffles and things like that as much anymore because they cost. It's luxury items that we cut out.
Are you going to race cars today?
Outside Sacramento, Melissa and Mike Carr are making sacrifices too.
We're giving Grant a haircut here so that we can save about $30 from this haircut. My husband does his own hair, and we cut our 22-year-old son hair as well. And then I was able to just find somebody to cut my hair for about $25, which is amazing for a woman's haircut.
Rising prices have taken more than just a financial toll.
And so I thank the Lord.
We are so low on everything right now. I'm kind of dreading this grocery trip. The economy in the past 2 months has been a lot for us. Just really emotionally and mentally just trying to figure out how to make everything work.
Melissa now sells old items from her home on Facebook Marketplace to make extra money.
I use Facebook Marketplace probably about 1 to 2 times a week and sell several items at the same time. It's just a great way for us to save money, make some money, and then we can do special things like date nights or help us out with some bills here and there.
Outside Detroit, Breeze Brown had to take on a second job delivering groceries to keep up with rising prices.
Okay, so we're out pretty early doing a couple orders to make some extra money.
She's also scaling back her 2-year-old son's activities.
My son has noticed that we had to make changes in the activities that we usually do. You know, he's usually into swim, martial arts. I've had to cut costs just to put the necessities first. The hardest part of all of this is just having to, you know, keep going. No matter what, of course, I have to keep going. But between inflation and me, inflation's winning.
That sense of defeat perhaps felt most when filling up for gas.
My feeling when pulling up to the gas station is anxiety, stress.
It makes me very anxious and very stressed out.
Just how much it keeps going up, especially in the last week. We've gone up 50 cents just in the last week, a gallon. And we have to start figuring out more ways to save, to stay on our budget.
I'm okay right now, but I'm pretty sure it's going high, so I'm a little bit anxious about it. This is a lot, guys. This is hard. This is really hard.
The Lovell family now drives far less, combining most of their trips to use less gas.
Most weeks we only leave twice a week.
Breeze even switched her son's daycare to save on gas.
It was just, you know, a little bit cheaper and way closer.
Families making major changes to get through uncertain times.
My biggest fear right now is to keep a roof over our head, gas in our car, and food on our table.
My biggest fear is that things aren't going to get better, that it's just going to keep getting worse.
I also hope that no matter what, that my family and people around us, that we can see true hope and value in the life that we do have, no matter what is going on.
But to be honest, that's basically the monthly now average cost of living. Let's say, for example, I'm in Florida, so I'm going to take my state as an example. So here in Florida, like before, you could have got a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, depends where you live at too. So let's say if you live in the middle class society, you know, a 2-bedroom was maybe $1,200, a nice area, you know. Now for baby for a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, now those same apartments, let's say a 3-bedroom, there was $1,200 2 years ago. Now it's nearly like $3,000 depending on the area, because there's other apartments that are over $3,000 a month. If you live now, even in the bad area where there was a lot of shootings and a lot of drugs being sold, the rent is more than having a mortgage of a 3-bedroom house, you know what I'm saying, in some acres. Because right now, a 1-bedroom apartment, let me say, averagely in Florida, in the hood, it's nearly $1,500-$1,600 for a 1 and 2-bedroom. So that's just the place you're gonna lay your head. But we're not talking about if you work, how much gas an average American is putting out because of the gas, nearly maybe roughly $100, depending on the car you have, but from $50 to $100 roughly a week. And that's times 4. And then like if you go to the supermarket, like I said, eggs are $10. And if you still owed on your car, you still gotta pay your monthly payment. Plus insurance went up. It also went up in the house insurance. So nearly everything that we are breathing and using in everyday society, the lights, the water, everything has went up except the annual, medium rate. Most Americans are only making less than $75,000 a year. So if you add up everything, and let's say, for example, give me a second, let me use my calculator. Oye, Maria, espera un momento, que venga ahora. So guys, I'm not going to do the math because, everybody cost of living is a little different. But let's say, for example, if you're paying $2,500 a month, if you have a few kids and you need a 3-bedroom apartment, roughly $2,500. Okay, that's $2,500. Let's say you're paying for gas $400. That's $28 already. That's already $2,800 there. And let's not talk about food, because if you have a few kids right now, $200-$300, you leave with maybe 1 week worth of supply. And if you owe money on your card, interest rate, I don't know if it went up, and let's talk about gas, where we did that, the light, hygiene and stuff. Nearly a family right now has to make more than $5,000 a month in 2023 to be able to survive. And the problem is most Americans are not making more than $3,000 a month, especially now, because most Americans are single households is what's happening here. So we have literally one parent household. That's the mostly of the majority of the houses in America. So guys, it's gonna be a pretty tight stretch here. I really don't know what's gonna happen to a lot of people, but like I said, consciousness and unity is the only way to overcome this, and knowing that God, and we trust in God. So that's the solution. Find our spiritual side. But I'm not going to get all spiritual here because I don't want people to be like, oh my goodness, look Maria. So I'm going to just move on to the next one. Let's keep looking. They're saying $3,500 is the average month yearly, but to be honest, the reason why inflation is so high, I'm going to let you guys know honestly right now. There's a lot of investors that, a lot of people wait for opportunities like this, especially when there's, a pandemic that is created and everybody already know that was going to hit. There's also this law called antitrust, which there's a lot of companies right now, like the biggest corporations, which are under lawsuits because it is proven that they have been communicating with each other and they have been striking the prices on the stocks, which is causing inflation to rise. And not only that, are they causing inflation to rise? We had investors come over here from different countries. Just in Florida alone, over $3 billion they invested in just South Florida. So that means if your parents were living in affordable housing and now these investors, they bought the apartment complex, and their goal is not to have that to be a low income. Now your contract with that apartment complex is no longer valid. So they have the option to kick you out or rent you if you can afford it. So that's what's causing inflation. Is a lot of back stuff going behind the offices, a lot of stuff happening through the dark that we're not seeing, a lot of stuff going on with food, and a lot of companies. Let's take a look right here. So guys, let's talk about it because the media is not talking about this. So I don't know if you guys knew this big scam that we are facing here today in America. Tyson, and you guys know that we get our food from the biggest corporations, and Tyson's is one of the biggest corporation in food and program. And guys, what they was doing is they were going behind doors, they were talking over the phone, they were coming up, and they was indirectly, raising the prices and making stocks go up. And this is the reason why Americans are right now struggling to eat food. Not only are we getting kicked in the face where all these new investors are coming from all over the world and they're buying all the apartment complex all over the US, and not only that, they're buying up houses And then after they buy the houses, they're raising the prices to very extremely high prices that American family cannot afford because the median family only make less than $75,000 a year. So guys, right now, Tyson is refusing to comply, even after a subpoena. And I guess, the laws don't apply to them. They're not being forced to comply. So when you go shopping and you have to spend almost $15, $10 for a piece of bird, which is also polluted, guys, watch all my videos because I'm not going to get into it. You know how Maria's are. Maria's in the house. We can really get into it. But we're not doing that in this video. So guys, they're selling all this polluted food to us. Not only are they selling food that is killing us, they are also behind closed doors, compromising, talking, drinking a little bit, hanging out the playground, some of them. And it's okay for them to do this. It's okay for them to break the law. It's okay for them to, break the law called antitrust, which is here for a reason, to protect Americans from this problem. From protect Americans who are poor and need to eat. And this law was created so big corporations can go behind closed doors or to the playground and start having conversations of how they're going to raise the prices for our food. So this is what's happening in America. Rent went up, food went up, So guys, what is going on, and why are these people not being content to court? Why are we not finding out? Why are we not hearing that basically inflation was caused by a lot of greedy elites? Not only is our food polluted, but guys, watch my other videos. Hint, hint, hint. COVID-19 come from an infected animal that come from these companies. So they're making us sick, and then they're basically raising all the prices and then buying up all the land. And then, America, shut up. The land of the free. Take a land. Go work. You're free, right? At least not in a third world country. So that's what we're doing to Americans, guys. So let's move on. So for example, look what we're looking at here. Antitrust, like I was saying. So in June 2020, there was a complaint filed against Tyson, against USA Food Company Holding, National Beef Packing Company, all these big companies that are in charge of selling the food to us, the Americans, because we don't use really local businesses, and there's no local businesses like that have farms because we under capitalism. I'm sorry to say it. This channel is for my entertainment purposes, but guys, this is going on. This is why inflation is so high and people are eating one meal a day, and some people just have to live in their car and that's their new address. That's what's going on in America. Especially, cattle and, was really costing. Like, if guys go watch my other videos, because if you watch my first two videos, you guys come back and see what cattle, and it comes from all these companies. But if you guys go back and see what is causing COVID, you guys will see that these people are the ones that is causing COVID, and then they're the ones who are talking behind the offices, and then they're the one raising the prices, and they're the one refusing to lower the prices even after being subpoenaed in court, because they're the free man in the land of the free, the land of opportunities, and they're the only ones with opportunities. So guys, this is what's happening in America in our own backyard. Marias, I don't know, Marias. God forbid we lie on some taxes. We're going to jail. So that means if you're still here, you do care about your community, you do care about society, you do care about the future of your kids, and your kids are the next generation. So guys, the real question is, and I know a lot of people be like, oh, we can't do nothing about it, but what is going to be the solution? When are we, the people, going to be tired of this? I haven't seen not one time in history that poor people, and I'm not going to just say black people, but poor people have been happy, being abundant, enjoying the land of opportunities, but my thing is, and now I'm going to say black people, and please don't take this the wrong way. This is just the truth. I'm just here, Maria in the house over here, just being truthful. You know, when they say the system is a racist system, or when they say the world is racist, I don't think the world is racist because of society, as a society. Why? Because we all interact with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have Hispanics who have babies with black. We have black women having babies with black men, you know what I'm saying, having babies with white women. You know what I'm saying? It's the environment we in. We are here to connect. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to be like, oh, you're black. But it seems like the system always had black people as a target. When they're saying discrimination and racism, I feel like racism is coming from the same source, the system. Why? Because every part of history, as you can see, black people always been the target of the system. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just the white man, because we do have a lot of white people who hang out with black people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who grew up together, who are black and white. It's not the color of the skin, but when the system targets a color and then makes it seem, oh look, black people getting treated unfair, white people, it's done by white people. No, it's done by politicians, the people behind the system, the people behind the curtain. This is the people that we had to take a look at. They're literally destroying our kids, destroying our neighborhoods. Well, not even destroying, they already did. You know what I'm saying? Every big history that went down that was really bad happened from the system, Democrats. You know what I'm saying? So guys, the real question is, what can we do as society? What can we do? We determine these people's income. We're the one buying from them. We're the ones raising capital for them. You know what I'm saying? The solution is we buy from our local neighborhoods. We become the job creators, not the job seekers. And that's how we're going to change the system. Us standing up, no matter if your neighbor is white, orange, blue, purple, an alien. You know what I'm saying? As long as that person has respect, you know what I'm saying, respects you and your family, that's all that matters. But what can we do for this to change? We need to change, because the system is not going to change. It's going to keep getting worse. You know what I'm saying? We're heading down to another Great Depression that is caused by bad policy, just like the first time. You know what I'm saying? So is the system causing this problem so they could enslave us? Because after the 13th Amendment rights was, implemented and made up, which really is not helping people, but that's one of my videos. Go watch it. Slavery video. That's where it's at. So that's what we had to look at. So Maria's out. Till next time, guys.